Okay, amazing. Hi, guys. I am so excited for tonight. I'm so pumped. I have special guest Amber Parker on our Zoom tonight. She is an Ambassador Diamond. I'm going to say just a little bit about Amber before she starts. Y'all, I've been watching her for years. She inspires me so much. Like, she inspires me in her business, she inspires me in her marriage, and honestly, just as a woman of God and her faith. I watch her consistently, and I've been watching her for years. I've just been like a silent fan over the years. And I just adore her so much, and I'm so grateful. So, can we please give her a warm welcome? Amber, why don't you just take the floor and just tell us a little bit about yourself and share your story with us?
Hi, you guys. Well, that was so sweet. Oh my goodness. If you can turn your cameras on, I love to see your face. And I know some of you can't, but if you can, do because where I can see your eyes and your emotions, and we're just going to let the Holy Spirit lead the Zoom. So I love to see you and connect with you and put a face to the name. So if your phone says iPhone or Galaxy or something like that, change it so we can address you by name because your name is so vital and important. So I am Amber Parker. I am an ambassador diamond in the company, and a little bit about, my journey and where I'm at today. They're two different people. Where I began and where I'm at now is completely life changing. When I started, I had a 1.5 year old and a 3.5 year old, and we were living paycheck to paycheck. We were actually negative $500 in the bank when I started this company. And it was just kind of out of the blue. I wanted to prove this product and company wrong. And so I reached out to a stranger on the internet, like many of you probably did or heard. And that stranger changed my life. But really, it was the encounter with the Lord. And so I think that every encounter is a divine encounter, whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense in the moment. In John 13:7, he says, "You don't understand what I'm doing right now, but one day you will." And today's that day. I understand now what he was doing way back then, but I was just wanting that product, and I was wanting about 200 to 500 extra dollars. We were just talking to our team last night about that. It was the simple things. It was literally like I wanted a car payment. I just needed a little bit of breathing room. Maybe you're there right now, drop a one. If you're like, I just want a little bit extra, like I would take $50 extra. I would take $100 extra. I would just take anything extra. And it's at that point, it's actually probably not even extra, it's necessity in a lot of today's world of where we're living and what we get to offer in this opportunity. And so I leaned in, I tried the wrap and I saw results in 45 minutes, and that wrap made me my first million in the company. But not only did it make me my first million in the company, you guys, it changed thousands of lives, thousands and thousands of lives. A product that works in 45 minutes, we still have that product today. So, and it still does the same thing it did back then, even better now. So, don't forget about the products that we aren't always talking about, you guys. They really do work and they really change lives. And so I jumped in for $99. I put it on a credit card because we were again negative $500 in the bank. And I went home and I said, "Babe, I want to try this product just for me. I don't want to touch a business." And he said, "Okay," like a good husband does. He doesn't ever tell me no. He just makes a way. So he says, "But we don't have it." So I did a couple of hair appointments, put it on a credit card. My business kit came 15 days later, it came. And at that point, I realized, wow, the month's almost over. And if I want to make some money with this, and I just shared my own results, you guys, that's how I launched my business. I just shared my journey. And people do that today all day long, whether it's I'm changing the foods, or I'm changing the hair journey, or I'm changing my skin journey, or I'm changing my gut health journey. People just start with their own personal results. And that's where I started because people started trusting and they're like, "Well, we know you. Like, you're not joking." And so within 45 days of just simply sharing this product called the Body Wrap, you guys, the Body Wrap Defining Gel and Fat Fighters, that's how I went freaking diamond, really, with those three products. And I started just sharing my own results for social and getting to people in person. And I think that both is the secret sauce, is using social media as a resume and a platform, and then really diving into making that personal connection. And so my very first distributor that I ever signed up 13 years ago is still in the business today. So that one wrap party, she was a complete stranger, and she's still my dear friend, and she's still in the business now. So that's the true residual income right there. But I went Ruby in 45 days. In 45 days, I was working full time in the salon, 40, 60 hours a week with two kids, and I would swap kids and cars with my husband's, and every single night and weekend I said no more of anything that's distracting me, things that aren't paying me, things that aren't producing for our family, things that are costing me money. I remember just being, my girlfriends were like, we're going out Friday night, and I was like, nope, it's month's end, sorry. Like I got goals, I got dreams, and now I get to go out on a Tuesday night, I get to go out on a Wednesday night, I get to go out any night that I want, because I took really a year of every single day doing something for my business. And when I say business, you guys, this is just keyword, you definition, you can put it in the chat. My team knows this. When I say business, that means your life, right? The business and your life are not meant to be separated. And so why do we separate them? Don't separate them. People buy from people, not from businesses anyways. So if you're wondering why your business isn't exploding, it's probably because you're not making it personal enough. So I went Ruby in 45 days, and Ruby, my first paycheck was about $300, and I almost quit and gave up. Made a phone call and I said, I'm done. This is some BS. I worked 45 days and calculated hour to dollar. Like, this ain't adding up. And she said, but Amber, just listen, keep doing what you're doing and do it for another 45 days. Can you do that? And I'm a rebel. So I said, yes, I can. I think I can. And I went diamond. You guys, I went diamond on the 15th of the month, because I thought I had to go diamond from the day I signed up. And I signed up on the 15th of the month. And so the 3 months prior, August, September, well, really just September, October, for really 2.5 months, I pushed all my customers to the first of the month, the first, the fifth, or the 10th, the first, the fifth, or the 10th, the first, the fifth, or the 10th. And so by the 15th of the month of November, in just 2 months, I had 10,000 group volume hit by the 15th of the month. And I went diamond on the 15th of November. That paycheck came December 15th, right before Christmas. And that Christmas, we were still behind on bills. That still wasn't enough to catch us up. And I'm so glad that I didn't quit. I'm so glad that I kept going. And I'm so glad that God knew well before I did where this was going to take us. And so that Christmas, Josh and I bought each other socks. Our parents bought our kids Christmas, and we drew a line in the sand, and we said, ever, like from now on, next Christmas, we're going to be able to give back. And we have been able to do that over and abundantly, because I drew that line in the sand. That conference was January. I was a diamond, brought some friends with me to conference, went double diamond. I went from $1,300 to about $16,000 from diamond, double, and triple right after conference, and just from January, February, and March. And so I went again. It was all the 8 months prior of working consistently at nights and weekends. I didn't watch TV. I didn't do the things that other people were doing. I was so strictly, I only had certain times to work my business. And so went diamond in 8 months, brought my husband home, and we were a full-time family ever since. And our kids do not know mom, dad working away from the home. It's been such a blessing. We've been able to give back. And our kids are now almost 17. You guys, next conference, my daughter gets to be there with me. And it has just been so incredible to really go from, like, she was in diapers when I started. And would God be so good to bless a business so much by just simply giving us time and freedom. And that's what this business gets to do for you guys. So I love where we're at now today. I mean, I could go over for an hour about just the thing this business has done for us as far as mission trips and giving back and being able to provide. Traveled the country for a year with my kids. When everyone else was locked up, we were able to go away. So it was like, God has really blessed us in this business, and we love what we get to do, you guys. And this isn't just for people with a network. It's not just for people with aesthetically pleasing photos. This can be for anyone with a heart to serve other people. And that's what the foundation of this business can do.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness this is recorded, because I'm gonna want to listen to just your story again. That was so good. Y'all, did you hear her say a few key things? One, it didn't happen overnight. Two, there was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice. I know that God is so good to where he blesses his kids' obedience. Right. And it says in Proverbs, he does not bless the lazy. He does not bless the ones that are constantly putting things off. Right. At the end of the day, like, it's those ones who are making those daily sacrifices. And I love so much that you said business and life together. We separate it too often. We separate it way too often, making a separate account or just not showing our lives and who we are. And when you come to your page, even Amber, to this day, if y'all go to her page, which please go follow her, but when you go to her page, like, you literally see so much. You see her marriage, you see how much she loves God, how much she loves her team, the products, literally all of it. Like, you know who Amber is. You know who Amber is just by looking at her page, and that's the goal. So love that so much. Love everything that you guys have done. It's honestly amazing. So thank you for leading with that. So I want to dive into just a few questions. First one, I'm really going to focus on like training, like your new distributors, because I just feel like your team is just always like blowing up and literally doing amazing. So whatever kind of training, like when you bring in someone new, like what does that look like? Like what does it look like as far as like training them? What's that process for you like when you bring someone new in?
I can always talk about what it was like, but things are changed, you guys. In the
Yeah.
season that we're in right now, we have something so special. And what is so special about our company, and I really want to kind of drive the nail in the head on this one, but you guys, we have an app.
Mm.
We have an app with 45 minutes of training. That's it. 45 minutes of training. And let me tell you, when that app came out, I'm old school. I was like, nope, I'm staying in my lane. I'm not using any of it. I'm not doing anything. If it's working, don't change it, you know? But what I realized is year after year, I forget what people don't know. I don't know what the new dish. I think everybody knows what BV is. I think everybody knows what a leg is. I think everybody knows what Ruby is. I think everybody knows what commission qualified means. But we really don't, and they don't, you guys. And so the first thing and this starts kind of in the recruiting process, is my conversation and my flow tells people you're going to have a community behind you. You're going to have endless support behind you. You're going to have access to me and a team page and a few other girls because we co-sponsor in this team. You're not only going to have me if ever I'm not available, you're going to have Kayla, and you're going to have Jessica, and you're going to have Paige. And we're so excited to welcome you. So now Jaylyn comes in and she welcomes that distributor, and Jessica welcomes the distributor, and Paige welcomes the distributor. So you want to make sure that you're not just being celebrated by one person when they come in, that the more, the better. Because oftentimes people may stick around or join just because of something you said, but then they might find a better connection with Paige. And I'm so thankful that they're now BFFs and they can do the business together, right? And so, and if you really are thinking big mindset, I can't handle all the people myself. I don't want to. Leaders are built, right? And so I want to build leaders. And so when I bring people in beforehand, they already know that they're not just going to have me, they're going to have a team chat, they're going to have X, Y, and Z. Like, do you have what they're going to have? And then where's your promise in that, right? And so go through the app. Start there, right? They sign up themselves. They have the prompt to download the app. And I always say the faster you can get done with that training, it's 45 minutes. And I use keywords like most people. You guys, if you aren't using the keywords like most people are getting started with this, most people start with a 30-day drop system. Most people want to be like the most. Right? They do. They want to do like what are most people doing? What is everybody else doing? How many of you have seen the stupid TikTok bowl of avocado, cottage cheese, potatoes, and some meat? Like, why? Because everyone conforms. Everyone conforms. And so it's the same exact thing in our business. And so when people come in, I say most people get that training done within the first day or two. And again, just like a job, you wouldn't start a job without orientation. So we want you to dive into there. I'm going to add you to my team page, the team chat, and the Road to VIP page. These are places where they're your virtual office. It's where you're going to plug into daily to where you can get updated so you don't miss anything. Because again, like, if my team page is I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm going to also mimic what corporate's doing, because if everyone is on the same page, then things produce faster, right? And then you don't have to come up with creative, like, how do I do all this stuff? And then from there, you guys, the biggest part of launching somebody is getting to know them. Make it personal. Find out where they work. Find out if they have kids. Try and remember their names. Again, you can't do all of it. A mentor says, I can do anything, but I can't do everything, right? But the more you can make it personal, if you knew that they had a cat and a dog before they joined and you were commenting, oh, so cute, and then all of a sudden they're in now as a distributor, but they're not responding to you and you're not engaging and you're not pursuing them. How many of you are in a relationship? I have to pursue my husband every single day, 19 years later, to let him know I still love him and he needs to do the same for me, okay? Like, it is no different in the community of this business, right? Why is my first distributor still in the business? Because I'm her friend. Because regardless of what she's producing, she's my friend. Regardless of how she's showing up, I'm going to push her. I'm going to stretch her. I'm going to love her just the same way I did before, right? When you're dating is how it's going to be when you're married. When you're recruiting is exactly how it's going to be when you're mentoring, right? So pursue them in the same exact way and then let them tell you how they want to. But the biggest piece of advice that I can give you guys is take everything they say with a grain of salt. everything they say with a grain of salt, because sometimes people will come in and say, I'm going to kill it. I have a huge network. Take it with a grain of salt because they may not. And you might be discouraged when they don't utilize that network, right? The vice versa. The other side of that is they might be like, for instance, perfect example, right? I had this girl and she's like, yeah, I just want to refer him over to I'm just going to use somebody else's name, to Kayla. I just want to refer him over to Kayla. I'm just here to support her. I just want to refer him over to Kayla. I don't really want to do anything with the business. That was me, by the way. So again, take everything with a grain of salt, because even if they say that, don't not invite them to Zooms. Do. Pursue them as if they are the rock star or the weakest link. It does not change the way that I communicate. Until they block me or say literally stop sending me these messages, I'm going to pursue. For instance, I just sent this message to one of my girls, and I've sent her the last 10, and she says, please don't give up on me. My son just went into the Air Force today, but I want to come to these meetings. I do. Please don't give up on me. Now here I am, like I've sent you the last 5 and you haven't responded at all. So what do you do as a leader? You stop sending them. You're giving up on people, well, they've already given up on themselves. So what if you just pursued every single person like they're your next rock star? Build the friendships in that. So there's a lot of those things. You guys take everything with a grain of salt. And now she's like, she got her 4 customers. We did her launch party. We did a sip and sample, drove 4 hours to go launch her. And that's the other thing that I love to do, because I love to be personal. Now, did I drive 4 hours with the potential that possibly 0 people could show up? Absolutely, because that is the reality of it. But I don't cancel. So if I go 4 hours, I'm still going to train. We're still going to try the products. We're going to take some content. There's always something to do. I can be in person. I can train them on Instagram. I can see how their market is. I can, dive into their social media a little bit. So it's always worth the investment. Again, this isn't a sacrifice. These are investments that I call them. Some sacrifice investments, you call it whatever you want. But I'm like, if you switch the word, like this is an investment into people. And you guys, let me tell you, life was lifing. And I packed my car, brought 4 girls with me on a 4-hour road trip on a Wednesday night, did a party for 2 hours and turned around and drove 4 hours home. We made it home at 2 a.m. And let me tell you, in that party, we pulled in 400 volume. That girl got her 4 customers in one party. And now tonight I was like, hey, girlfriend, I know you're working. Put up an opportunity post and tag me in it so I can help you close your distributors so you don't miss out on that 4-in-1. So have your team host a post for you. If you have girls that aren't, I hate this word, it's like a cuss word to me, but aren't working, don't even speak about it. They're just not doing what you're doing. They might be working on themselves. They might be doing listen, I'm going to go off. I'm going to get real hot and heated here in a second, but don't speak that over your team. They're not working. Said who? They're not going to do what you're doing. They're not going to be and show up the way that you're showing up, nor should they. You're the leader. But let me tell you, they'll probably show up half of how you show up. So if you have a team that you keep speaking they're not working over, how are you showing up? And how are you teaching them, right? And so she's like, okay, sounds good. I'll post it in the morning. And I just had to educate her. Girlfriend, so many more people are online. If you can step away from work real quick and just throw it up real fast, tag me in it. Here's an opportunity host to post. Because oftentimes too, you guys, your new distributors will think that like they feel scared doing it on their own. But I'll say things like, Amber and I are looking for remote workers, like, and allow that kind of safe space to be like, let me help you, girl. And she was like, that's so good. I want it. So guess what she did? She wanted to post it in the morning, and I just educated her and coached her. I don't care either way. I'm going to give you options. I'm not going to tell you what to do, right? Just like in parenting, and just like your husbands, you kind of can't tell them you can, but you can't, right? I can tell you what to do, and I can tell you how I like things, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do it, right? So if I'm telling them, go ahead and more people have more views, now she knows, oh my gosh, she just didn't know that before. She was ready in the morning. And I said, and oftentimes when I'm busy, I want that post to marinate. So that way I can just let it kind of flow versus when I'm ready to be online and make a post, that's irrelevant. That's wasteful. Like you need to let those posts marinate. So post to post, getting them in the training app, launching them into the things, you guys getting them plugged in, co-sponsoring them. I mean, that's basically how I bring in new distributors and train them. And my team can say something else if that's something, or they can say, yes, that's accurate. Now, the duplication on that, I would love to see tenfold, of course. But a lot of times people struggle with being friends first.
Wow. Wow. That was so good. And honestly, the fact that you just like hold their hand the whole time, I feel like when we have people come in, like you said, it's that like presumption of like, well, you know what all this means, right? Like we're good. You know what a 400 box is. Like you're good. Like like, we don't need to explain it. Like the app honestly has changed the game for me because even when they get started, the girls are going straight to the app before they're even texting me. And they're like, I've already started the training. I'm like, okay, great. That sounds great. So y'all
Yeah.
direct them to the app. I'm gonna preach that too and just say, like, even just tell them, like, hey, go check it out. Because it's like the company doing some of the work for us where they're actually teaching people, which is so good. I love also that you said it really is like, yes, it seems like a risk in the moment, but if you think about it, that time that you spent to go to the party and the time that you spent there, it was all worth it, even just for the connection with your
Yeah.
girl. Like, I know that you were in that car for 4 hours, but don't tell me y'all just sat there and like in silence, like you were bonding, you know what I mean? Like you were actually becoming friends. And so I love that you shared that. I love that the sacrifices you make for your team. And I feel like that kind of leads a little bit into the next question because that was all just so good. I don't really have too much more to say on that. That was so good, Amber. I wanted to talk about this question probably the most because I feel like we've all been here. So when I read this question, if this resonates with you, y'all, please drop a one if you've ever felt this way in your business. Now, listen, I've been in this business for 6.5 years, and I'm here to tell you that I have felt this multiple times, not once, multiple times. So this is my question for you. In the moments of low season, how did you choose to stay here and it works and actually walk through them? Like when trials came up in your life, whether it's like your personal life or even your business, like no one's promoting, right? Like you didn't see an increase in your check, like month after month after month. People are leaving. People have quit. Maybe they're leaders, maybe they're newbies, doesn't matter. What made you want to stay with it works instead of just being like, I've done enough. Like I'm good.
I'm like, oh, so the season of life right now. Like, how come we're still here? You guys, I always relate things back to the marriage. Your marriage is not going to be your dating sunshine, rainbows, flower delivered every single time he comes to pick you up, right? Like the same thing in the business, right? This is a business. And if you look at employees and corporate people, no company in America has the original employees, all of them, 10 years later. So why would you think your business is going to be different? Okay, A, it's not. You have entrepreneurs and you have employees. Employee mindset, entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneur mindset says, regardless of how it is, I expect that I'm not going to make a ton. I expect that there's going to be high and low seasons. I expect these things. Employee says, I want to show up and get paid or I'm out. You have to decide, am I going to be an entrepreneur and a boss and a CEO and an owner and a friend and a founder of my own company? Or am I going to be an employee? The minute I don't see an increase, I'm out. The minute I took 2 weeks off and I didn't have a paycheck, I'm out because that's an employee mindset, right? And so you're going to have both of those. You have to decide for you. I made the decision a long time ago when I put my yes on the table. I always say this, if you gave God your yes, why are you going to go look for a no? If you know good and darn well that my flag is planted, and let me tell you, it has never even waved, okay? Like it is planted, it is planted, it is planted. I know without a shadow of a doubt that my calling is right here. God has put me into social media to be a light in a dark place. And that goes beyond wraps. That goes beyond 30-day drops. That goes beyond gut health systems. But let me tell you along the way, watching the testimonies and hearing the testimonies of people being able to cure their gut health and have, I wish I'm like, oh, this is recorded, and have incredible results afterwards, right? Or cure their gut health. And then all of a sudden now they have a couple kids. Being able to see people financially be blessed, like, why would I not want to spread that? Why would I not want to be a part of that? And so you're going to have seasons where people come and people go. That's part of life. Get used to it. Okay. So everyone just in the chat say, get used to it. You're going to have people come and you're going to have people go. That is the part. Friendships. Do you have the same friendships? The only friendships that you made in kindergarten, do you still have those today? No. Right. So again, my leaders that got me Ruby aren't going to be the ones that get me to Diamond. Aren't going to, maybe sometimes some of them might be, but in my mindset, how did I keep going for 2.5 years to reach Ambassador Diamond? Okay, I went Ambassador Diamond in 2.5 years with no experience, no network, no host to post, no Zoom trainings. How did I do it, you guys? When I said, Zig Ziglar says, when you help enough other people get what you want, that is exactly when you'll have enough of what you want. And so you as a leader have to be outward focused. It's got to be about somebody else. It's got to be about somebody else. Brendon Burchard talks about this. I mean, you change your circle of influence and you change your circle and you put yourself in tables that are literally, you're like, I would never even be allowed to sit there. Guess what social media can do? I have mentors that I'm like, I quote, I call them my friend, and they've never even met me before. But I know so much about them and they've taught me so much stuff that in those low seasons, I rely on those mentors, right? But in my mindset, in those first 2.5 years, every single month, and still, I have 0 distributors on the first. I don't have a presidential diamond. I don't have a triple diamond. I don't have a ruby poppin'. I don't have anybody. I have nobody on my team in my mind, right? I have to find 3 new people every single month. How many of you have your first month, you reached your $800 bonus and you got those 3 distributors and you're still depending on those 3 distributors? It's a new month. It can be a new week. You got to go find 3 new people every single month, 3 new people every single month, 3 new people every single month. And guess what? When you find 3 new people this week, you find 3 new people next week, and you find 3 new people next week. And you don't want to get so overwhelmed that you lose track of your people, because your people that come in, whether they say I'm going to run or I'm going to sit down and try the products, it does not matter. You have no idea and you cannot control where they go. Something that I always tell my team, I will not take fault for your failure, and I will not take credit for your success. That is not my deal, right? And that takes the pressure off of too, of feeling like, oh man, Steph just quit. Like, she's only been a week in and she says, I quit. I can't do this. Okay, we'll turn off your e-suite and we'll turn off your thing. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, you guys. It's a big deal for her because she gave up on her dreams. It's a big deal for her because she stopped before success happens. But what I know is I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay. And the other thing with seasons, you're going to have seasons even for me. And I started seeing this kind of flow as I build this business. Some months I plant seeds and some months I have a harvest. Some months I recruit. It was like I signed up 10 distributors and then the next month I would do 3. Why? Because I was still catering to those 10 people and launching them and carrying them. And I was okay with 3 because I still have to have bandwidth for the 10 that I just signed up. And so it was like 10 distributors, 3 distributors, 10 distributors, 3 distributors, 6 distributors, 2 distributors, 10 distributors, no distributors. Okay. Like 1 distributor. And I remember being like, oh, it's 8 years. I've never not signed a distributor in a month until like the 31st of the month. And I was like, what's happening? This is the first month I haven't signed a distributor. But guess what I did? Signed a bunch of customers. So you're going to have these ebbs and flows of your business, and you need both. We need customers, we need distributors, and we also need to retain the team that we have. Instead of just being so plow driven of like, new, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more, right? This business loves speed, but sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And so what if you looked at your season of, it's just, you guys, can I just be really honest? There was months where I would have over 150 promotions, 150 promotions on my team. You don't think that I don't look back at yesterday's crap and be like, Lord, where are you today? Where's the 150 distributors promoting now, right? But man, I'm so grateful for the 20 that are. Because let me tell you, the first time I had 20 people, my gratitude was fire. The first time I had, it'll have the same thing in your paychecks, you guys. There's ebbs and there's flows, and you have to be okay with that. We've seen checks of $30,000+, and we've seen checks as, when we first started, $1,000. Why am I upset that anywhere in between, I'm like, oh, I'm pissed at a $10,000 check? But remember, the first time you had that $10,000 check, your attitude of gratitude was real good, right? And so if you just shift those things in different seasons, I'm planting, it's a harvesting. I'm planting, I'm watering, and a little bit of a harvest. Man, the harvest is so good for 6 months, and now I'm planting again. And so if you just shift your mind that like it's going to constantly be going up and down and up and down and up and down, life is lifing. There's things I'm going through today that I never had to see back then. I had a 1.5 and a 3.5-year-old. I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. Is my life different? Yes. Are the people that are coming to my business different? Yes. So why did I not quit? I put my yes on the table and I never took it off. I don't ever want to take it off. Because if I truly believe that this was an answer to a prayer to help us climb out, then I believe that there are people praying for the same exact thing. Want a little bit extra. I want community. I want better health. I want to change my life. And until everyone is in the company, like, I'm not done. I'm not done. Regardless of how many people I'm bringing in or how many people are promoting or how increased my paycheck is, if I believe and if I can shift my gratitude back to where it was in the beginning, right? Or why you first started, then let me tell you, that gratitude is the key to abundance and it will keep flowing and it will keep flowing. And it's hard when you're in the low season and you're depressed and you're like, I don't want to do this. I've seen deaths, I've witnessed moves, I've been through every valley that you can think of. Every valley that you can think of in this business. But I have to show up regardless of my thoughts, feelings, emotions, and mood. Same thing as being a mom. If I showed up as a mom based on my thoughts, based on my feelings, or my emotions, or my mood, my kids wouldn't have a mom. So why would I think this is different? This is how I provide for my kids. This is how my kids come to play sports. This is how my kids' friends get sponsorships. This is how God has been able to bless us to give back in ways that we never thought possible. My yes is on the table, regardless of what season I'm walking through. And oftentimes, you guys, what I've found, at least in the valleys that I'm in, it's a time of full surrender. Give it all to the Lord. I can't control it anymore. Working out of stress and fear and anxiety does not work for me, nor do I think it works for anybody. Anyone who says, I thrive in chaos is full of it. And you must love that. But it never works that way. It never works that way. And so oftentimes God will humble me in seasons to remind me, A, where I came from, and B, where I'm called to go.
Oh my gosh, I'm like speechless. Anybody else? Oh my gosh. That was so good. I'm like, my brain now, I'm like trying to think of something. I'm like, hold on, it's my turn now. When I tell you, when you said surrender, oh my gosh, like full chills. And when it's written. Oh,
I
wow.
have it tattooed, you guys, because the day I went ambassador was probably one of the darkest days of my life. And by darkest days, I mean I could have not seen the next day. That's how bad it was. I left my house for 4 hours, filled with a team, filled with team, two of which were completely against me. You want to talk about enemies sitting inside your home who are literally trying to stop my promotion from happening? And I left and I remember talking to God and I remember hearing him and he says, Amber, you have not given it over to me. We were down, I think, 30,000 volume is what we needed to bring in that day. And he said, surrender it. Surrender it. Surrender is not a give up. It is a give over. And the minute I gave it over, I'm constantly reminded, I give it over to you, God. I give it over to you. I cannot control. Do not let my hands take the steering wheel if it is not in the direction that you want to go. So yes, surrender it all.
Wow.
And we
Wow.
made ambassador, obviously.
That's so amazing. Honestly, that's such an incredible story. And when I tell you, like, I feel like every time that I feel like even today, like just going off of what you said, even today I'll get in my head, I guess, and I'll be like, yes, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But I actually can't do it. And I tell myself so much, I go back to that like old mindset I had, like I say BC, like before Christ. And I'm like, every single time I go into I can do it, it leaves me empty. Every time it leaves me feeling burnout. Like I feel like, and I know that you probably know that all too well, but in this season where you were talking about harvest and you were talking about like how it doesn't have to be like that every month. Like sometimes you're just working from the harvest from the last 3 months, and that looks like you just taking care of the harvest, so you don't like lose it, and not putting harvest on top of harvest. And I feel like for me, growing like in this business, I even think growing up in this business because I was 21. And I think about, I always just wanted to be better than the month before. I was like, how can I be better? How can I be better? And it wasn't until I hit that wall of like, I didn't get better. It wasn't enrollments are better than the month before that it like felt like it took me out. And I was like, well, now I'm a failure because I didn't enroll just as good. I didn't enroll the same or better and I didn't have promotions on my team, or I didn't, or talk about losing rank,
Yeah.
losing rank. I had to literally detach from like a title because I thought that was who I was in this business. And I don't know if any of y'all have ever felt like that, but I tell you, when you actually know your title as a daughter of God, as a daughter of the King, everything changes. And nothing about this business will constrain you in a way where you're just like, this is who I am. Yep, this is who I am. These enrollments are who I am. I'm a top enroller. I'm this, or I'm an ambassador, or I'm this, or I'm that. I introduced Amber as an ambassador diamond, but she is a daughter
For
of
the
the
Most
Most
High
High
King.
God.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, literally. So I really pray that everyone hears us when we say that, because I feel like we just get caught up in that so much. I just had to say that. That was really heavy on me. Don't get caught up in the titles. If you don't promote this month, it's okay. It's okay. Like it's you're still gonna be in this business next month, unless you all are taking yourself out.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, unless y'all are taking yourself out, which you shouldn't, right? But at the end of the day, like that doesn't define who you are. You're here, and it's just like what you told me at conference. You were like, this is the ministry. Like this right here, what we're doing every single day, our purpose is to bring people to the kingdom of heaven. So
Mhm.
that's what you're doing. So if you got to smile at somebody today, if you got to tell someone Jesus loves you, if you got to pour into a girl on your team, that's all that matters. You had a successful day. You did.
Mhm.
And even if you didn't do any of that and you're like, Haley, all I did was stay in my house all day and I posted some content. Okay, you reached somebody. Let's just be real. You reached somebody, and that matters.
Mhm.
Um, so the next question I wanted to go into is, and obviously you can answer this business or personal life or both, however you want to do, but what do you think, or what do you feel God is teaching you right now in this season of your life?
This season of my life, what isn't God teaching me? Spiritual warfare is a real thing. And I think the higher it's these stupid cliche things, the higher the calling, right? The more difficult it's going to be. And I'm like, meh, I rebuke that. No, thank you. I don't want to climb higher and be hurting her or worse. Okay. But I really think for me in this season, God is reminding me that this is a modern day business. And it is no longer skeptical city where everyone and their dog wonders, what is this and is it going to work? You guys, everything that we do, every other company is doing. Every other company is doing. How many of you guys follow the girl Get Your Pink Back? She just started an ambassador program. Why? Because people see that this works. But you know what is the difference? The main difference between our vehicle and affiliate programs? Affiliate programs are a one-time payout. Ours is residual income. Remember that first distributor that I'm still getting paid on? That first party that I'm still earning commissions on because customers, yes, have still ordered for 13 years? Yeah, that's the big difference, right? And so God's reminding me and teaching me right now, people need this now more today than they ever did when I was bringing in and promoting 150 people a month, right? People need this more now today. And so am I sharing that? Am I providing the vehicle? Am I sharing what do you need? This vehicle can give it to you. If you need community, you got it. If you need income, you got it. If you need faith, you got it. If you need a friend, you got it. If you need just an outlet to not hear a kid, right? If you need friends, if you need to be uplifted, like this is it. This can be for you, right? So that's something that God's really, really, really teaching me right now. And He's also teaching me the joy of being mom and business owner. The fact that my daughter is going through this crazy allergic reaction. Never has she been allergic to anything in her life. Ate shellfish one night, February 8th, and she literally has had breakouts. If you guys haven't seen my post, it's literally been insane blowing up and what people are telling me. And I'm like, this is warfare. This is warfare. My daughter literally it breaks out in hives for everything. Her body is basically in a high state of flight, fight, or can't even say it. You guys know what I mean because I'm so just blah, over it. But what a blessing it is that I get to be at every single appointment. What a blessing it is that I don't have to call into work. What a blessing it is that we have a financial freedom to be able to go and drop $70, $70, $70, $70 every freaking doctor's appointment. $150, $70, prescription $50, this 120, new hygiene products $800. Like, I mean, the fact that we can do this, you guys, and that I'm not sharing and being loud about this, shame on me. Like, what am I doing, right? Because people are in the same situation, but they think, what do I do? I pick up another job and I leave my kids even more. What do? I go and get another job so that way, hopefully, my kids can fend for themselves because we need income and we need income and we need income. Well, guess what? When my babies are sick and they're in the hospitals, I can work on my phone. When my dad had cancer and I went to a 7-day revival every single night, I gave my business to the Lord every single night. Nights are the best time to work. And guess what I said? I said, God, I give this to you. I trust you in it. And so then this season, again, it's always that reminder is, am I trying to do it all myself? Or am I leaning on my team? I thank my team so much. I thank you, Lynn, for stepping up and training distributors. I thank you, Serenity, for always showing up and being there and being that encourager and being the green on the team, right? I want to thank just Steph for showing up. 12 years later, she was on my team, and now she's like, going to church with me, doing these sip and samples with me, coming to my morning mingles. Like, I needed that friend. She brought me fresh eggs today and I just couldn't be more thankful. Like, simple things like that, you guys, like, it is a blessing that we get to do this. And oftentimes when we're in the pit and we're in the valley, all we do is complain. All we do is see the bad news. All we do is see the horrible things that are going on. But in the real reality of what God is teaching me is how blessed I am to have it. How blessed I am to have this.
Wow. Wow. So incredible. And guys, like, let this be a reminder, like, what a gift the business is in all areas. I think I said that in the beginning of when I was praying, that we're just grateful. Like, we're just literally just grateful to even have this business. Like, and you know what I tell myself too? I literally tell myself, I'm like, you could have picked somebody else.
Yeah, but he chose.
You could have picked somebody else. You could have picked somebody else to have my story, this business, exactly how it went. But you chose me. Why? Why? Because you knew that at some point, even in all that time where I was getting ungrateful, where I was looking at low seasons and I was getting mad, I was getting mad. I was actually getting mad at God. There was a moment where I literally lost all my leaders and I had nothing but like resentment. I was like, are you kidding me? I've been in this for years and now all my leaders are gone. Like, I was so frustrated with God in the same way that any child would be frustrated with their father if they just woke up and went into their room and like half their stuff was gone. They'd be like, where's all my stuff? Like, I'm so mad. So it's like, it was like that. It was learning that relationship with him and realizing, wow, hold on. I know I took all your stuff, but I've actually got so much more. I've actually got something so much better for you. It's right outside. I'd like to bring it in. Can I bring it in? That's the kind of God he is. That's the kind of father he is. My best friend gave me this photo and I look at it every single day on my desk because it is such a good reminder. Just like Amber said, when you surrender something to the Lord, he has so much more in store for you. He has so much better for you, right? So I really want you guys to know that and hear us when we say, like, surrender is everything. Like, surrender your business to the Lord. And that means like a daily surrender. Like, I feel like so many people talk about surrender and they're like, I did it. I surrendered it. Great. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to go pick it up and we're going to get stressed out because somebody's not a Ruby that was supposed to be a Ruby, or the volume didn't go through. And now auto shipments are like done. And now we've got a week left and we thought we'd be further along. Drop a 2 if I'm talking to any of y'all right now. You thought you'd be further along towards your promotion, but you're just not there yet, right? Absolutely. We're all there. So then guess what you do? You start to worry and you're like, well, how's this going to happen? Now I've got a week left. Listen, God already knew that was going to happen. Stop thinking that you know more than the all-knowing God, okay? He knows everything. And if you put that dream in your heart, it's for a reason. So stop thinking that it's like, I've been saying this a lot in the last 2 months, and my team, I'm so sorry, y'all are going to hear this for like the 70th time, but he's not the enemy. He's not dangling the carrot and then taking it away, being like, oh, you thought you were going to get Emerald. No, you're not. You thought you were going to do this. No, you're not. That's not who God is. He doesn't dangle things in front of his kids to just take them away. That's not his character. He is good, period. Period. And I think that's something we have to remember. So if you need to, and you're feeling all these emotions while we're on this Zoom, and you're like, wow, that's me. I woke up like this morning. I'm still frustrated right now at my team, my volume, my things. This person just quit. Whatever it is, please, when you get off this Zoom, go surrender it to the Lord. Let your knees hit the ground. If you got a tear-stained carpet, I don't care what it is, give it to God. If it's weighing on you, you need to take on the yoke of Jesus that is light and easy, right? You don't need to be heavy burdened. You don't need to be heavy laden. You don't have to be. You don't need to choose to be. So it's just a choice, right? And so I
Wait,
want
one more
yeah,
thing. Another thing
yeah.
God's teaching you right now, you guys, and I'm sure many of you guys are in this situation too. How many of you guys got the book from Mark? Right? How many of you listened to the podcast? Okay. I was at conference. I immediately signed up for that Live Your Dreams book. Like I'm so fired up about it. And he's reminding me to dream again because the last 5 years was a 5 year dream and we made it. We're here. We were here 2 years ago. I built the dream home. Josh designed it. And God's literally in the season of like, give it up again. And I'm like, you want me to burn the ships again? I didn't like that last time, Lord, but I did like it. And it was really awesome. And it was really fun. You want me to burn the ships again?
Mm.
And literally, and he is like, give and give and give and give and give and give and dream. And so now I'm redreaming. I've stopped dreaming because I've been in this dream. I only had a 5 year dream. And now we've been here for the last 2 years. And so, newsflash, you have to keep dreaming. And
Wow.
what are people going to think of me? I don't care. I don't care. I didn't care then. I don't care now. Don't care. Because there's all these people, what are they going to think of me? And there's all these people that are, what are they going to think of me?
Oh, yeah.
What dreams are they going to dream? What dreams are they going to dream up? We talked about our dreams on our team call, and it was beautiful to watch some of the people just say, like, I just want a savings account. And I'm like, girl, I remember that. I remember that. So dream, 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 dream big, dream big, dream big.
So good. So good. Now the last thing I wanted to say, because I know we're coming close on time here. But if you could say, I'm gonna do two. If you could say one thing to a leader who has been in this business and feels stuck, what would you say? And if you could say one thing to someone who is brand new in their business, whether it's their first day or they've been in for like 6 months, what would you say to someone like that?
The biggest thing that I think I have to tell myself that I want to tell you guys is if you didn't have anyone to compare to, how would you show up? If you didn't have all of the before and after pictures to copy, how would you show up? If you didn't have the trending reels and what they look like, how would you show up? How would you show up? What is the one thing that you're going to do if you knew nobody was watching you and it was just for you, but yet you knew somebody's watching you? How would you show up? How would you show up authentically you, right? But right now, what I see and what I've seen over the last couple of years is like, stay in this lane, mimic, 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 copy, copy, copy. Well, guess what? Carbon copies only duplicate one time. That copy and that original is only once. So who would you become if you knew there was no comparison of what is, right? If you wanted to go Ruby and you didn't know anyone in the company that's gone Ruby, what would you be chasing after? If you didn't know that putting before and after pictures and using trending audios, how would you get the before and after pictures across? If you didn't know that live was a thing and that 15 people were going to watch because you thought 1500 was, how would you show up? And so I want to encourage you, you are the secret sauce. Whether you are a beginner, whether you are a new mom, and let me tell you, life's going to change. I have 17 and 13, 1.5 and 3.5, right? Like here we are, completely different life. How would I show up? I showed my kids way more back then. Now they're teenagers, they're hardly even home, right? How do I show up? How would I do this? What worked for me 6 months ago may not work for me now. What works for Haley may not work for Paige. What works for Paige may not work for Linda. How would you authentically show up and promote your business as if it was a boutique, as if it was an Amazon influencer, as if it was a dental assistant office? Like, how would you show up for your business, for your market, and what journey would you go on? One of the greatest things I did for my business, you guys, was put my blinders on, snooze everybody else, and run after ambassador. That was the best thing for me. I couldn't look at what Sarah and Kayla and Linda and Denise and Tara were all doing. It paralyzed me. Not that I didn't love them, not that I don't love them, not that I can't go to them for inspiration, but if at any point there's comparison, comparison is the thief of joy. And if you lack joy, it's because you lack vision. And if you lack vision, it's because you're looking at other people's vision that God placed for them and not what He gave you. And so, where's the vision that He's called you to? Where's the vision for your family? Where's the vision? You're a mom, she's a single student. I'm sorry, how are you going to compare apples to apples? You're not. What works for somebody else may not work for you, but are you willing to try it on for a season? Yes, follow people, copy the right cat. But sometimes you mimicking, and I mean, they talked about it at conference. It was like partnering or something like that. If you just, every single Facebook post is the same, everything looks the same, right? If you didn't have that, how would you show up? If you knew that you just had a 90-day journey for yourself, how would you show up? If you took yourself on a journey, which is exactly what I did, I competed in fitness, a competition when I went double diamond. My coach was so mad at me because I flew to green carpet the day before my competition. Hello, inflammation, if you know, okay? And I didn't care. This business meant everything to me. But how many people in the business were competing in fitness? Zero. But I knew I wanted to do something different. Maybe you want to go on a mud run. Maybe you want to train for a marathon. Let me tell you, if you don't have something outside of the business, meaning host to post, messages, product posts, your before and after, if you don't have something else that you're doing for people to follow, you're going to be real boring to watch because I've seen it 100 times. I've seen the same post, the same reels. I already know what's coming. You make your coffee every single morning, the same exact time, the same exact time. You go live every single morning. Change it up. Shake it up a little bit. Stretch yourself a little bit. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you go after? Right? I picked up mountain biking in the RV. Do you think that I could mountain bike? But man, let me tell you, whipping down those mountains with no cell phone does something to me. And people want that. They want to see that, right? Starting this podcast for what? Are you out of your mind? Out of your mind, Lord. I am not starting a podcast. Everyone already has podcasts. I'm too late to the podcast world. I don't have this. I don't have that. And He says, Amber, you better go in obedience. And so what do? You do it out of obedience. You do it for fun. You do it not because you see the end result, but because of who you get to become in the process. What is a deep desire, whether it's fun? You want to crochet? Pick up crocheting, for goodness sake. You want to pick up sourdough bread making? Send some my way, okay? Like, I don't care what you want to do, but make sure that it's something that you want to do. Not because it's trending, not because it's cool, not because everyone else is doing it. Make sure that it's because it aligns with where you're going, what you desire, and what you want.
So good. So, so good. So now the other half of that.
Tell me the other question. I probably
forgot.
forgot.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So now, just speaking to the girls, and it doesn't have to be long. It can be short and sweet if you have somewhere to be. But I just want okay.
No.
Just to speak to the leaders who feel stuck, girls who just feel like it doesn't even matter if they've been in for like 6 months or 5 months or like 6.5 years, like me. Like anything that maybe you wish or you wanted someone to tell you when you were stuck, what would you tell them?
Well, if we don't get emotional tonight, one of the things, you guys, about being stuck is usually because we forgot to serve. For me, the times when I feel the darkest, when I feel depressed, when I feel down, when I feel overwhelmed, it's because I've only been focused on myself. And I haven't opened up the door to say yes to serving. And so, Haley, you may not know this, but you reaching out to me was like, thank you, God. Like, I get to go do something for somebody else. I get to show up for an hour for somebody else. And so serve other people. Get outside. Action brings clarity. If you're stuck in depression, if you're stuck in postpartum, if you're stuck in the weight, if you're stuck in the after marriage blues, it's a real thing, you guys. It's a real thing. You're like, where's the honeymoon? We're only 8 months deep, right? We're 19 years deep. And where's the honeymoon, right? Serve them. Serve them. It takes it off of you and puts it on somebody else. Be with people. That sip and sample where I drove 4 hours, you guys have no idea the pit of hell that I was in. And Bailey, Steph, and Mercy showed up and they said, we're going. And do you guys know how bad I wanted to cancel, force myself into a stomach ache, have anxiety through the roof, and just say, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. But that 12 hours of investments in a car ride filled with worship, bad news because the doctor called for my daughter, right? Like there's all of these things that I went through, and I hid none of it from my team. None of it. They're going to see me at my high and they're going to see me at my low, but the most thing that they're going to do is they're going to see me serve. I'm going to outpour and I'm going to outpour and I'm going to outpour. So if you're stuck, find a way to serve. Find a way to give your time, your energy, your love, your gifts, your talents, your creativity to somebody else. Let me tell you, it will pull you out so fast, so fast. So if you're stuck, serve your team. If you're stuck, write letters to your team and send them out. If you're stuck, create a dream board and say, who can I give this to? You know what I want to do? I want to bake a cake. You know what I want to do? I want to go make chicken noodle soup. Post on your social media. I made chicken noodle soup. Is anyone sick that I can go and bring this to? The day I took my daughter to the hospital, we had crazy test that day. And I oftentimes, if I can just be real transparent, I get paralyzed, right? Fear paralyzes me. Everyone else too. It's just part of the process. And I don't like fear. And faith and fear can't coexist. And so if I really believe that my faith is strong, and if you say, what do you have, Amber? I have faith. I have seen miracles happen. I have seen literally my friend Courtney paralyzed from the voice down, live in Cabo, Mexico, walk across Spain. Doctors gave her no hope. Don't tell me he can't do it, right? So if I lean back on those moments and those markers in my life and I'm like, God, you were so faithful. How can I serve somebody else? I have a friend right now who is battling cancer for the second time, but don't worry because she had 3 cancers this time. 2 have completely been removed. In the name of Jesus, this liver is going to be healed too. But what did I do? I reached out to her and I said, what are you doing? How can we hang out? Can I bring you lunch? Can I do this? Not because I have the energy, because I don't. Not because I even have the willingness. I'm like, I can't even smile. I can't even smile today. Go serve. Go serve somebody else. Show up to church. Get involved in a community. Give back to the local. You guys, there's so many areas where you can serve somebody else. Invite a friend over. Serve them with your time. Every Tuesday morning, God put on my heart to have a morning mingle. Every Tuesday morning, doesn't matter your walk of life. I don't care where you came from. We don't even have to talk about the Lord because let me tell you, he's already going to show up and I don't need to say a word. But every Tuesday morning at my house, I offer coffee, bagels. Anyone's welcome. And it was so cool today to witness literally a God-sized move. When this girl, my friend Bailey, shout out to Bailey if you're she went to Natural Grocers yesterday, and this girl is a total blue. You guys, she wants to talk. She wants to build her business. She wants to build in person. And she went to Natural Grocers, started talking to this girl, gave her phone number, and she says, tomorrow morning, like this girl just moved here in November, and she goes, tomorrow morning, we're having a morning meeting. Nothing to do with the business, okay? Like, I don't even want to talk about the business because you guys, this is a time for me to serve other people. Now, again, is it going to get brought up? Of course it is, because I'm serving them coffee, right? And that's an investment that I'm willing to give out. That's a way I can serve people. What do you have? Not, I don't have money to serve somebody. You don't need money. You need your heart. And so this girl showed up. Her name's Abby. And she showed up today, you guys. A complete stranger showed up to my house. And she was like, this is amazing. People need this. What if I hadn't have listened in a dark season in September when I was sitting in church praying for God to move on my heart, to give me friends? I'm sick of being at home alone. I love people. People are my passion. And let me tell you, as much as I love these Zooms, let's get into a room. How many of you would love to be in a room hearing these topics and conversations? How many of you would love to be in a home? I don't care if you're sitting on the carpet, on the floor, or you're outside my house. Let me tell you, there is reasons why we are supposed to be connected in community. And so I open up my home, and you guys, Stephanie brings fresh eggs, and everyone's like, thank you. Gosh, we can't even find eggs. And that's a way that she can serve. This is the way that she can serve. And I didn't ask her, but I can promise you that that was so giving life to her. And this girl shows up and she says, I'm going to tell all my friends about this. People need to do this more. But you know what? I wanted it. Instead of being like, I just want friends and I want community and just talking about it, I took action towards it. What is something that you can do? Copy, please, for the love of all things, you guys, if you are like, well, I don't want to copy Amber, please do. Please open your home. Please provide coffee. You don't have coffee? Provide juice. You don't have juice? Provide water. Break bread with people. It means something to them. And so I would tell you, if you're stuck, find a way to serve someone else. It will not only pull you out, but it'll pull you out and let you soar with other people. We need community.
Wow. Wow. That was so good. Thank you so much for your vulnerability.
Welcome.
And thank you for your honesty, like through this whole Zoom. Like, can we just give her some love, you guys? Like, honestly, like your vulnerability is everything. And I remember the first time I had you on a Zoom years ago. And I remember when you spoke, because I didn't really know God. I knew of God, but I didn't really know God. And I remember when you spoke, I was like crying. And I remember you were just like, it was God moving through you. But just the way that you spoke about God, it made me want to believe. And I want you to know that. Like, it made me want to believe. It made me want to have more faith. And so please know that everything that you do impacts somebody else's life, Amber. Like, you're talking about serving, like you've been serving for years, not just since September. You've been serving for years in this company. We all adore you. We all appreciate you, and we're so grateful for you. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you everyone for thanking her. I'm so happy that you guys got on. We're gonna close in prayer. Amber, if it's okay, if you could pray us out.
Yes, and you guys just, thank Haley. Thank Haley for reaching out. Thank her for being obedient and asking. And oftentimes we create a story and we don't reach out and we don't ask. And or we think maybe she's too busy. And I remember when you said, I know you're busy, and I was like, don't put that on me. You don't get to decide my busyness. Okay. Like, and don't say that to your leader either. I know you're busy. Ew. Knock it off, okay? Don't say it. It's cuss words, just like my team's not working. We're not going to say those things anymore, right? Because I'd rather be busy with this than busy with the thoughts of darkness, than busy with the exhaustion, than busy with any other thing. So please reach out. Please ask. Don't think you're bothering people. The worst thing that's going to happen is they're not going to respond. But just even if you reach out to me and I don't respond, you guys know that I see it, I hear it. You can always reach out again. But I love this so much. So thank you, Haley, for asking and just spending your night with us. So